Hello friends, here I am with next part of this story. I hope you all like the video and subscribe to my channel. So let's start the video with summary. Okay, you saw once where Naruto is the son of Hades, Artemis, Apollo or a made-up god. But what if he is the son of the forger and is the champion of goddess of intelligence? What will be his role? Protector, trainer, hero, Naruto x harem, slight Aphrodite bashing, guilty hero. Chapter 11, The Demigod vs. The Raven vs. The Pervert, Mount Olympus. Athena was walking swiftly to Hephaestus' workshop, with an expression of fury and worry. Fury about the Leaf Ninjas daring to take her champion and worried about Naruto's health. She just heard about the Leaf Ninjas coming here to Earth from Hermes. How did they come here anyway? Only a god can open a portal to the mortal world, which mean one of the gods might have helped them. Poseidon, Hades, Hestia, Artemis, Demeter, Dionysus, Hermes and Hera is out since they like Naruto and one of them is currently kidnapped. Hephaestus won't let the ninjas come here and take his own son. Zeus didn't trust the shinobi there. Ars cares more blood in fights than for kidnapping rescue missions. Aphrodite is out since she has plans for Naruto, which Athena will watch out for. So that only leaves Athena scowl even more when she realized who it was. Apollo. He was the one that let the Leaf Ninja in this world. He must want the Leaf to take Naruto in their world so that Naruto would stay away from Artemis. That man would do anything to make sure Artemis doesn't get close to any man, but she has to admit, that was a clever for Apollo. The man may be lazy most of the time, but he can be quite intelligent if he push himself. Not that she would admit that to anyone. She saw Hephaestus' workshop in front her and she entered in, then slammed the door shut. She saw Hephaestus working on another weapon, probably for Naruto. If you're here to tell me that the ninjas are here, don't worry, I know, Hephaestus grunted, focusing his anger on the weapon he's making. Athena isn't surprised that Hephaestus knows. And what are you going to do about it? Athena asked. She didn't doubt that Hephaestus will take action, but is curious on what he's going to do. Hephaestus continued forging the weapon. We'll tell the others gods and goddesses on what's happening. They'll make sure to shut the ninjas' powers. The one who's planning to take Naruto and all they have left to fight with is their taijutsu, limited genjutsu, and very few ninjutsu, Athena said, understanding what he's doing. And most ninjas rely on their ninjutsu and very few are a master at genjutsu or taijutsu. Hephaestus grunted and nodded. He got up and put the weapon away for later use. He turned to Athena. I'll get Aphrodite, Ares, Hera, Hestia and Poseidon while you get Hades, Apollo, Dionysus, Demeter, Zeus, and Hermes. Athena nodded in agreement. The two got out of the workshop and went to get the others. Hours later, all of the gods stood there and ready. Zeus looked at Hephaestus and Athena in annoyance. What is so important that they need to make a meeting? He had eyes on a blonde-haired woman at Florida. Athena started to speak first. Okay, we found something important. It's about Naruto and the shinobi world. Apollo and Ares scowled when they heard the name, but everyone ignored them. What about the other world? Hera asked. What does this have to do with us? They not from this world and is no mean a threat to us as long as they stay in their border. That's why we wanted everyone here, Hephaestus said. They're in this world now. They are here to get Naruto and bring him back to their world. The shinobi will do anything to make sure they complete our mission, even kill civilians if they have to. Our kids might get caught in the crossfire if we don't do something. The ones who have kids started to look worried, even furrowed their eyebrows in concern. What can we do? Poseidon asked. The ancient laws forbidden us to be immortals and Zeus won't change them anytime soon. He glared at his brother, who glared back. Athena grinned. Me and Hephaestus found the loophole through. We can't interfere in mortal affair, but we can shut down their powers. Most of their skills comes from our godly elements. If we take that away from them, they will be less of a threat. All of the gods mused at the idea. That could give their children limited protection from the ninjas. Apollo reluctantly agreed since his children might be endangered if he doesn't take away his powers from the ninjas. Plus, the other gods would be suspicious. He may be laid back most of the time, but he is not that dumb. A good idea, you two, Zeus said with a smile. We'll stop them for using our elements, thus making them weaker. We will do this immediately. Council dismissed. Before the gods could flash out, most of them shut down the ninjas' elemental jutsus and ninjutsus. Washington, D.C. Been a while, huh Naruto? The men said. The man looks to be middle-aged with long white hair and red marks under his eyes. He's wearing a hippie kind of clothing and got sandals on. Naruto knows this man alright and he always wanted to strangle him on sight. Yes it has, Naruto said, still glaring at him. Iro-sennin. The man, called Iro-sennin, face faulted when he heard that accursed name again. Stop calling that, Naruto. My name is Jiraiya. The man, now known as Jiraiya, shouted. The name fits Iro-sennin, Naruto called back. The others look at Naruto and Jiraiya in confusion. Naruto, you know this man? Zoe asked. Naruto nodded, still glaring at the man. Out of all the people, why did it have to be him? He would rather have Sakura and or Sasuke coming at him instead of this pervert. He's one of old senseis, if you can call him that. Naruto said, he's one of the strongest people in the Leaf Village, next to the Hokages, a toad sage, and also a giant pervert. The hunters stiffened when they heard that word and grabbed their bow, pulling the strings back. Annabeth brought out fresh kunai, Thalia got her spear out, and Bianca got her bow out as well. All of them glaring at Jiraiya. Hey, I'm not a giant pervert. Jiraiya exclaimed, then made another dramatic pose. I'm a super pervert. The sooner he said that, he started dodging many arrows, kunai, and a spear. Naruto face-palmed. His temporary sensei didn't change a bit. Girls, stop shooting at him, Naruto reluctantly said. We need those arrows and kunai for other enemies and this heat isn't worth it. The girls reluctantly put their bows away, but they still glared at the self-proclaimed super pervert. Jiraiya jumped off the toad and then grinned at Naruto when he got a good look at the group. Oh Naruto, I see you have 2 apprentices of your own, Jiraiya said, talking about Percy and Grover. Also a harem? I'm so proud of you Gaki. Jiraiya started crying fake tears after that, making Percy and Grover sweat drop. Naruto, Zoe, Annabeth, Thalia, and Bianca blushed bright red when they heard that while Phoebe's eyebrow twitched in anger. Naruto is brother and furthermore, she is Hunter. She is offended by that claim the pervert made. Naruto got rid of the blush and growl in anger. As quick as a bullet, he kicked Jiraiya in the groin. The perverted sage screamed and crumpled on the ground, holding his precious jewels. Percy and Grover winced in sympathy while the girls cheered. Why? Jiraiya wheezed out. Then, he looked at Naruto with a blank look. You're still mad about hooking you up with 3 girls aren't you? The girls got scowls on their faces when they heard about it and glared at Jiraiya for making Naruto do that while Percy's and Grover's mouths dropped. Naruto did it with 3 girls? Grover got over the shock and shook his head. After Naruto's history, he shouldn't be surprised about what happened with the blonde in the past. Damn right I am. Naruto yelled, giving his famous Uzumaki glare that could make Hades flinch in fear. Right now, it's making Jiraiya pale and shiver while most of the quest member almost felt sympathy for the man. Almost. What the hell were you thinking in that perverted old head of yours, giving me those girls wrapped up in a giant present? Those girls chased me halfway through the village when I told them I didn't want to lose my virginity yet. You're lucky the Granny Tsunade made the punishment for you, otherwise I would have killed your perverted ass. Jiraiya, who is now on his knees, holding his hands up like it would stop the verbal assault, finally started talking. Come on, Naruto, you'd enjoyed it didn't you? He was only met with a harder glare, making the man whimper. Please stop glaring at me. Why not take one of your cigarettes to calm you down? He smokes? All of them thought. How did they not know that he smoked, when 5 of them known him for years and 1 of them known him for months? The girls are going to talk to Naruto about this. Naruto was about to say something, when he noticed ravens in the air. The others, including Jiraiya, look up to see the birds as well. They all saw birds have strange eyes, but only Naruto and Jiraiya recognize what they are. It's the Sharingan. Move! Naruto shouted when he saw the ravens plummeting down. Everyone move out of the way, then saw the ravens forming into a human. The ravens turn into feathers and the feathers starting turning into skin, revealing a man. Percy took a closer look at him. The man has white skin, the same strange eyes that the ravens has, raven hair, and a scar above the nose. He is wearing the same uniform the man from the guy who attacked them and sandals. From the looks of it, Naruto knows who that man was. Itachi. Naruto hissed out. How did you and the other Akatsuki get here? It doesn't matter, Itachi said in a calm voice. What we want to know is where is the tailed beast? Madara said that all of them disappeared after you left. Naruto glared at him. You think I'm gonna tell you? That power is too dangerous to hold in the Akatsuki hands, and you know it, Itachi. You are the smartest person in your generation, so you should know that power is uncontrollable. So why are you doing this? My matters are my own, Itachi said. Just tell me where they are. I do not wish to harm you, but I will if I have to. Naruto's answer was pulling Kasari out and turning it into a double-bladed axe. Naruto looked at the others. Everyone, you have to go now. His voice held no argument, but others were stubborn, mainly Thalia. Like hell we will. Thalia exclaimed, we are not leaving you behind to fight alone, Naruto. This is not a suggestion, it's an order. Naruto shot back, you heard about how powerful the Akatsuki is, how ruthless they are. We can't waste time fighting here, I'll handle them myself. He then turned to Zoe. Zoe, you're in charge of this group. He turned to Percy. Squidhead, catch. He threw a canister to Percy and the son of Poseidon caught it. When Percy looked at him in confusion, Naruto smirked. Open it when if you guys start fighting. Now go, all of you. Naruto said. All of them reluctantly left and ran to the train station. Naruto then turned to the two ninjas. Now, Naruto said, swing his axe a little bit, shall we? He charged at them with his axe swinging while Jiraiya and Itachi charged as well. Begin with a swing at both of them with both edges, but the two ducked under it. Naruto then had to block a punch from Jiraiya and kick from Itachi. He pushed them off and began attacking Itachi since he is a little weaker than Jiraiya. He swung his axe to try and cut him up, but Itachi dodged smoothly and quickly. Naruto started to get irritated when Jiraiya kicked from between the two, forcing Itachi and Naruto to separate. Naruto put up his axe and got into his Namikaze stance. Naruto smirked and made a come here gesture to the perverted hermit and the Akatsuki member. They didn't disappoint. The three engaged in hand-to-hand combat with Jiraiya in his Tofu, Itachi using his Uchiha Taijutsu, and Naruto using his Namikaze Taijutsu. The three started out an even level, but Itachi is starting to win. Out of all them, Itachi is better in Taijutsu while Jiraiya and Naruto are better at ninjutsu. Naruto tried to sweep their feet from under them, but it only worked on Jiraiya while Itachi jumped. The two engaged in fighting while Jiraiya was in a daze. Naruto was in offense with Itachi in defense, but it slowly turned the other way around. Naruto started to tire and falter, giving Itachi opening, and he kicked Naruto in the gut, making the young adult stagger and get in one knee. Itachi started attacking more and more, further hurting the blonde. Finally, Naruto got his wits back and started getting in defense. When the two continued for the next few minutes, Jiraiya suddenly attempted to kick the two in head, but Naruto and Itachi managed to dodge. The three continue in hand-to-hand combat until finally, the three separate and took time to gain their breaths. Itachi hardly looked fatigued at all, still holding the neutral look although he got some sweat embedded in his forehead. Jiraiya looked a little worse, with sweat pouring out of him and is breathing a little hard. Naruto is the worst out of them, with couple of bruises, tons of sweat, and is breathing heavily. But he's still got enough fight in him left and plenty of stamina, as well as giant chakra reserves, so he was not out. Naruto suddenly breathed in and then started spewing out fire like a dragon would. The sages and the Uchiha's eyes widened before they started to jump from ground to ground, dodging the spewing fire. It continued on like this until Naruto ran out of breath and stopped the attack. Then, Jiraiya did the hand signs to do the fireball jutsu. When he opened his mouth to let the fireball, something surprising happened. Instead of a fireball coming, only a little bit. All three of them got quiet, looking at the smoke. Jiraiya tried again, but just more smoke came out. He did it again and again and again, until Naruto couldn't take it anymore and laughed hard. He forgot that the gods had control of the elements of this world. The gods must have found out that the ninjas are traveling in this world and are now shutting down most of their jutsus. Easier for him and bad for the ninjas. The two stare at Naruto, who had fallen on his butt and was still laughing. What do you do? Jiraiya asked accusingly, narrowing his eyes at the blonde. Naruto, after he stopped his laughing fit and got up, answered, it wasn't me who did it, but I know this. Most of the jutsus you have, from elemental jutsus to genjutsus that could break a man's mind, are inaccessible in this world. Jiraiya paled. Half of his skills rely on elemental abilities, so that's mean he have to rely on one ability that can work. On the bright side, Itachi can't use his Tsukuyomi on them, that's good. Itachi analyzed his choice after he heard that information. He can't use his fire-style jutsus or his Sharingan-based attacks. He can only use his taijutsu, but it won't help against the elemental abilities Naruto has. So there is only one thing to do. So what are you going to do now? Naruto questioned the two. If you can just walk away, I can promise my dad to not harm you. If you don't, you will be either dead or taken prisoner by my family. What's it going to be? The two didn't budge. They just prepared to do a jutsu. You forget, Naruto, that I have more than elemental jutsus. Jiraiya bit his hand and did the hand signs to do the summoning jutsu. Naruto saw this and quickly did the same thing. Itachi, on the other hand, did a different hand sign. The two put their hands on the ground while Itachi finished his hand signs and said summoning jutsu. Susanoo. A lot of smoke puffed out of the area. Soon, the smoke cleared and revealed three things. One is Jiraiya on the giant toad, Gamabunta. The other is Naruto on his metal dinosaur, Grimlock. And the last, Itachi inside the Susanoo. Jiraiya blinked when he saw the dinosaur. Well, that's new. What kind of summoning is that? Naruto grinned at him from his position. His name is Grimlock, one of the metal dinosaurs in my summoning arsenal. And you're about to feel his strength. The dinosaur was in agreement. Gamabunta grunted. So you want me to fight the kid Jiraiya? Gamabunta said. Well, I guess I can do that. Although I will want payment for this. You'll get your payment, Gamabunta. Just defeat that thing and get Naruto, Jiraiya said. He needed to get Naruto to the Leaf Village before the village dies out. If he can't, he needed to find a way to escape or send a message to the others about what he found out. Grimlock, you fight the toad for me, Naruto said to the metal dinosaur. I'll fight Itachi. The dinosaur roared and charged at his opponent after Naruto got off of it. Gamabunta brought his sword up and leaped up the air. He made a downward slash, but the dinosaur dodged quickly and then tackled the toad sideways, making him stumble from his position. The toad hopped towards the dinosaur with his sword in hand. But this time, the dino caught it with his mouth. Jiraiya jumped off a Gamabunta and made a Rasengan from his hand. He hit Grimlock on the skull, making it roar in pain and nearly fall down. But it managed to stay on his toes. The pupilless eyes stared down at Jiraiya. It just got angry. Meanwhile, Naruto started throwing a couple of shurikens. They all just clashed against the armor of the Susanoo harmlessly, and then Itachi made a slash, throwing a line of fire at the blonde. His eyes widened and dodged the attack just as time. Regular weapons aren't going to work on him. Naruto made fireballs in his hands and started throwing after them, but it didn't even harm the thing or Itachi. Rather, it got Itachi to run up towards him and bring the Susanoo sword down on him. Luckily, Naruto dodged that and slid to the side, but Itachi was prepared. He formed 3 shurikens and threw them at Naruto. The blonde wasn't prepared for this and got thrown off by the explosion it produced. Naruto slowly got up, coughing out a little blood. Damn, this thing is the ultimate defense and offense. He can see no weakness to it. So far, not any of his range abilities work, and neither did his shuriken. He doubts that any of his arrows will work. Not any of his range attacks work. Wait a minute! He only used range attacks, an idea popped into his and he made 50 clones. All the clone know what to do. They charge at the monster, trying to get to it, but Susanoo wasn't making it easy. It take out one clone after another, an endless onslaught. Suddenly, a clone jumped off another clone and leaped off, shooting straight at Itachi. The Susanoo didn't have time to react and Naruto passed through the thing. Itachi turned it into smoke, but the slight movement made him cringe and grunt in pain. Naruto grinned. He just found the weakness. Now he just needed to exploit it. Naruto looked at the fight between Gamabunta and Grimlock. Perfect. The dinosaur started breathing fire, trying to char the toad user and the toad himself. Jiraiya's eyes widened and he started running when he saw the fire. He got onto Gamabunta and the toad leapt off, leaving to the two exposed. Suddenly, the T-Rex began to change, merging into something a mechanical way. He started to form an arm, then his dinosaur head and body replaced with a chest and a head. It changed himself into a giant robot. All in a few seconds, it jumped up and grabbed the body of Gamabunta and grabbing Jiraiya with his head. The three started falling to the earth with the toad and the pervert struggling, but to no avail. A crash can be heard all through Washington and tons of dust was made. The dust cleared out to see Grimlock in his dinosaur form again. Gamabunta heavily injured and breathing heavily, and Jiraiya all bruised up, bloody, and unconscious. Grimlock roared in victory, spire spitting out. I'm all beat up." The sick-loving toad said with a grunt. "Better go and heal up." "Sorry Jiraiya, but you're on your own." The toad then disappeared with a puff of smoke, leaving a beaten pervert and a giant metal T-Rex. Naruto whistled to get Grimlock's attention and he pointed at Susanoo, silently telling him to charge. The monster did just that and charged at Susanoo. It was forced to block with its shield and Grimlock didn't budge any, staying just where he wanted them. He started running on the back of Grimlock and when he got on the head, leap up. He headed straight towards Itachi and formed a lava-like Rasengan, yelling out Molten Rasengan. Naruto hit him with a lot of force and the lava sphere burned up the inside of Itachi. The man screamed in absolute pain, feeling his inside burning up. Naruto held his hand inside Itachi and when he pulled it out, the man slumped forward, his body falling on the ground forward. "He is dead." Naruto slumped on the floor, breathing heavily. The Susanoo disappeared and the T-Rex started breathing as well. The fight exhausted the two. Even though Itachi lost most of his jutsu, he still gave him a fight for his life. Imagine him full power with his Sharingan very useful. That would have been a problem. Naruto looked at the dinosaur and smiled. "You did a good job, Grimlock. Why don't you go back to your cave? I'll give you a steak when I'm finished with the mission." The T-Rex bowed his head and disappeared in a flash of light. Naruto got up and put Jiraiya in chakra-suppressing handcuffs. That should hold him when he delivers him to Chiron and Dionysus. He is not gonna let the ninjas go without consequences after they are beaten. If he could defeat them, he will get them in the custody of Dionysus, where the man can lock him up in Olympus prison. He can't trust Zeus not to kill the man out of paranoia. He quickly prayed to Hermes to get the pervert to Dionysus and when the body disappeared, he quickly used a ration to get with his team. He didn't see the raven flying away and the toad hopping away. Leaf Village. The leaf was a shell of what it used to be. Most of the ninjas quit the field since they all liked Naruto and they heard what happened to him in his childhood. The younger generations rebelled against the older generation for treating one person like that and for lying to them in their faces. Some of the adults felt major guilt for what they did to Naruto while the others believed that it was the demon brat fault for making them miserable as it is. Also, the Leaf lost their allies. The Sand Village broke off their alliance, as well as the Water Village, Spring Country, and Snow Country. The Mist Village didn't want anything to do with them. The Sound, Rock, and Sky Village attacked them whenever they can. Meaningless to say that the village had it tough after Naruto left. When Sasuke returned back, he was locked up and got his chakra taken away. Despite the council protest, all of Rookie 9, Neji, Lee, and Tenten rose up in ranks, even Sakura. All of them became Jonin in the 8th year of Naruto's disappearance. And all of them are affected by this, especially Hinata, Anko and Sakura. Sakura with deep guilt and Hinata with deep sadness. Anko had gotten more vicious at the villagers and when she's drunk, well, I hate to see the person who would mess with her. Right now, Tsunade is in the Hokage office right now working on the paperwork, which is half of what it usually was thanks to the outside people not wanting to do mission or contracts with the village. Tsunade has gotten angrier over the years. Her anger is at the civilians who caused Naruto life to be hell and at herself for not taking him. She should have just stopped the gambling and drinking habits, paid off all the debts, and stopped brooding over the death of her loved ones so she could take care of Naruto. But it's too late now. Naruto is gone, the Leaf Village is in poverty, and is also split in two, younger generation versus older generation. Suddenly, a toad hopped inside the building, and was holding a small scroll in his mouth. Tsunade quickly opened and gasped, "Shizune!" Tsunade yelled out. Shizune quickly got in the room with Taunton behind her. The woman had sadness all over face and a few tears. The disappearance of Naruto affected her as well. She saw Naruto as her little brother and she cried in her room when she heard the news that Naruto been taken by the, apparently alive, 4th Hokage. Some people are still shocked about that. "Get me the Shinobi Council and all the Jonin. We got some news," Tsunade said. Shizune nodded and went to get the council. After an hour, all the Shinobis are here. None of the civilians, since Tsunade got rid of them. They abused their power too long so Tsunade put a stop to it, despite their uproar. "Okay, we got some news from Jiraiya," Tsunade said. "He got defeated by Naruto and been taken prison. Also, the toad witnessed Itachi being killed." Everyone gasped at that. Jiraiya and Itachi are very powerful people and Naruto defeated both of them? He said that we can't use any elemental jutsus there nor genjutsu at the other world. Somehow, they shut down those jutsus to make weaker. Everyone started murmuring while Kakashi and Kurina paled. Genjutsu and elemental jutsus are their specialty. If they can't use it, well, that will cause a problem. So what do we do, Lady Tsunade? Sakura said among the people. The girl has a red jonin vest with brown shorts and red sleeveless shirt. Her hair got cut into a short length so it won't affect her skills. Tsunade sighed. Right now, I want people who specializes in elemental jutsus, regular jutsus and genjutsus to start training up with taijutsu. My guy and Lee will train you. Everyone paled when they heard that those two will train them. The rest will go find Naruto and see if they can bring him here. Also, Jiraiya got information about a few people with Naruto. The women gave them all a picture of them. It seemed Naruto have a team with him. From what Jiraiya said, they are all trained in the shinobi ways and are highly dangerous. I recommend caution. Now, I'm assigning Shino, Tenten, Asuma, and Yagao into this. Try to bring Naruto back, if not, bring me back information. Sakura, Anko, and Hinata was about to say something, but one look from Tsunade told them that it is not the right time. All the ninjas leave to do training and the 4 who were chosen started to prepare for the mission, and are ignorant that they will lose badly. Akatsuki hideout, the 9 Akatsuki members at the meeting ground, waiting for Itachi. It's been 10 years since the 9-tailed Jinchuriki disappeared. A few days after the disappearance, the tailed beast disappeared from the host. Pon quickly figured that the 2 disappearances were connected, so they tried to find a way to the other world for years, and thanks to some help, they did. They first sent Deidara to capture him, but he failed thanks to some kind of new weaponry the other world had. Now, they've sent out Itachi to get Naruto so they can find out where is the tailed beast. Finally, a raven flew in, and in its mouth was a scroll. The raven went to Pon and gave him the scroll. He opened it and read the context in before look at the other. Itachi is dead. Naruto defeated him. So the brat has gotten stronger, huh? Kisame said, grinning. When me and Itachi first met him, he put up a great fight for a brat. If he can kill Itachi, well, my Samihana is itching to taste of his skin. You could hear a rumble from the sword. No, Kisame, Pon ordered, you cannot engage him alone. Itachi was stronger than most of you, and if the former 9-tailed Jinchuriki can defeat him, he can possibly defeat any of you on a one-on-one fight. There were scowls from Deidara and Haiden, but they stayed quiet. Pon continued. Also, it said in the note that we can't use most of our elemental abilities and genjutsu. We need to find a way to negate that abilities from the gods before we can attack. I think I can help you there. Everyone heard a voice and they all look around to see what the voice coming from. They can't find anyone other than themselves in the room. Who and where are you? Sasori called out. My name is not important right now. What you need to know is that I can get you to the other world. My only price is that you kill Naruto, or at the very least, get him off my world. The voice spoke again. The voice sounded cold and powerful, it even unnerves Pine. How do we know that you aren't lying to us? How can you have more power than those Greek gods? Pine questioned. The voice was silent for a few minutes, then, 2 giant golden eyes were shown in the middle of them. One is that is filled with cruelty and evil. Cause I am more powerful than the gods. I am Kronos, Titan of time, evil, and harvest. The father of the 6 eldest Olympians, gods and goddesses. And Chapter 12, Water versus Fire, Apollo's Temple. In the Temple of Apollo, Apollo is laying on his bed, thinking. Not just about music or women for once, big shock here, but about the guy he hates as much as he did Orion. He wants Naruto away from his sister, dead or alive. He's been getting too close to Artemis and the hunters, and also stopped most of them from getting some girls. Now all he could do was look, and even then he got to be careful of that fire spawn. He opened the portal for the ninjas to come in and get Naruto, but now the gods know now and shut down the shinobi's powers. He had to do it too, so he won't be suspected. So he needed to think of a new plan before Naruto seduces his precious baby sister. Maybe I could get one of his team members to kill him? Apollo thought. He thought of the people he could influence. Thalia, Grover, and Annabeth are automatically out since they know Naruto too well. Phoebe and Zoe won't fall for his trick. Bianca can't be fooled from what he's seen. Only one person can fit the bill. Apollo eyes brighten up and grin evilly. Percy. The kid doesn't know Naruto that well and already experienced betrayal when Luke poisoned him and left camp half-blood. He might not trust Naruto since Naruto been missing for 10 years and was last seen with Luke on their quest. And he is not the sharpest knife in the drawer, and with his control with water, he is perfect to use to kill Naruto. Apollo got up and went to Hermes' room. In order for this to work, he needed one of Hermes' lying skills. Naruto will be out of the way in no time, away from his baby sister. Hall of Olympus, Hephaestus was walking in the hall, with a bunch of tools and supplies in a seal. It's parts he need to make his future weapons for Naruto and his friends. Ever since the lightning thief incident, he'd been preparing Naruto for the fight against the Titans even though his paranoid father won't approve of it. He got the blueprints of it and is already working on it. During his walk, he saw Apollo walking. He would have ignored him, but he saw that gleam in his eyes. He didn't saw that gleam since that time with Iran or the time he tricked Achilles in the Trojan War. Horrible and pointless war, that was. So he decided to follow him, changing into his Minato form to follow him. This was his true form and the one he transforms into when he needed to fight in a battle or show it to the people who treat him like a human being, not a robot. Naruto, Athena, Hades, Hestia, and Artemis. In the shadows, he saw Apollo go into Hermes' cabin. Curious, he attached a hearing aid on his ear, but more advanced. It can hear through any wall and can hear clearly, not just muffled words. Okay Apollo, but why do you need my line blessing? It can only for a few minutes for you and your sons. He heard Hermes said. That got Hephaestus' attention. Why would Apollo want one of those? Just something I need to do. I'm not gambling, don't worry. I know I'll lose with only a few minutes of that blessing. It is for something else. Hephaestus started thinking, why would Apollo need something like that? When Apollo got out he hid in the shadows. Right when Apollo passed him, Hephaestus put a tracker on him. That'll tell him where he's at and what he's up to. He then teleported back to his home to watch what's happening. He needed to know what Apollo is up to. Because something tells him that it is about Naruto. Washington, D.C. When Naruto got back to his team using Irashin, he saw the Templars and a bunch of skeleton warriors fighting his team on the street. Percy and Grover were holding off the 6 Templars while Thalia and Annabeth were fighting the skeletons. Percy was using his sword, Grover his staff, Thalia her spear, and Annabeth her large kunai. Bianca, Zoe, and Phoebe are firing arrows in support, but it had little effect since the skeletons cannot be killed by regular demigods means and the Templars have armor in them. Naruto took out Kasai and changed it to a Stygian blade, a gift from Hades for delivering a few statues and plants for Persephone. He charged at one of the skeletons while it was distracted and cut it in half. That gained the attention of the other skeleton warriors and the girls. Naruto! Annabeth exclaimed. It got the attention of the Templars, getting a Grover and Percy opening. They took it with open arms and Grover hit 2 Templars in the head with his staff while Percy the end of his blade to knock out another one. The remaining 3 quickly started fighting Percy and Grover again. Naruto briefly smiled at her before getting back to the fight. Seeing that this battle might take a while and will waste time, he turned to Percy. Squid head. Naruto called out while Percy is fighting, open the canister I gave you. Now. Percy didn't question him. Just pushed the Templar he was fighting and opened the canister. What he saw made him grin. It was filled with seawater. Now Percy doesn't have that much book smarts due to his hatred of books, but he makes up for it with his street smarts. So Percy figured out what he needed to do immediately. Everyone stepped back, Percy called out. Naruto did what he was told while the others looked at him in confusion. When they saw Percy controlling the water, making it snake-like, the others immediately moved back, confusing the skeletons and the Templars. But that confusion washed off when they saw the seawater Percy was controlling. The enemies tried to move away but it was too late. Percy shot the water at them, grabbing all of them like he was using a rope. He then moved it up and then slammed them down, sending the Templars sprawling around and the skeletons into pieces. Naruto grinned at Percy. Nice job, Jackson. You managed to take them all down. Percy smiled, feeling a little pride that he complimented by someone as strong as the Olympians. Naruto saw the skeletons reforming and the Templars getting up. They're going to get up soon. We don't have time to kill them. We need to get to Artemis as fast as possible. Everybody, move now. No one argue. Everyone run as quickly as possible before the Templars can spot them. They'd been going to train after train for 5 hours, until they stopped at a train called Sunwest Line. It was obviously from Apollo, especially since the door nearly closed on him when he was about to answer. Naruto looked around for any signs of monsters, then relaxed slightly. He still had his guard up though. Okay guys, now I think we can relax, Naruto said. Everyone relaxed a little, then LOEDK around the place. The train was a freight train that carried the most stylish models of cars. It is called Sunwest Line. Everyone that knew Apollo knows that it was him who gave them the train, and most of them are thinking he's got to get better in being under the radar. Then the girls suddenly remembered when Jiraiya said he smokes, and the girls turned to him. Naruto's spine straightened when he heard his name and the stern voice it held. He slowly turned around to see all the girls sternly looking at him. When did you first smoke cigarettes? Thalia spoke for all of them. Naruto started sweating under the gaze. He inwardly cursed the Erosenin for telling them his secret. He hoped Dionysus would do the worst of tortures on him. Well, you see, while Naruto tried to come up with an excuse. Meanwhile, Grover and Percy slowly moved backwards to the other freights. They know about feminine fury as well as any guy and do not want to be here when the girls began unleashing it. As soon as they got in the other freight, they closed the door softly and ran like furies was upon them. After running through 3 freights, Percy and Grover rested on the couch. They look around to see that if they're far enough from the danger zone, then relaxed. They're safe. I feel bad for Naruto, Grover said. Those girls care for him a lot, and when we heard about Naruto smoking, I sent a prayer for him. Percy looked up from his seat and looked at Grover. How much do they care about him? Percy asked, with a little bit of concern. He still has a suspicion about him being a spy, considering he disappeared for years. Plus, with Luke betraying the camp, he's not one for trusting strangers, even if they were a friend of Annabeth. Grover smiled. All of them care about Naruto a lot, even the hunters. Don't know about Bianca, but I can see she's getting closer to him. The first one who met him was Annabeth, so she is the closest to him next to Thalia. Percy felt a little fire in his heart when he heard that Annabeth is the closest. How close? Percy asked hesitantly. Grover saw this and held back a sigh. He knew of Percy's small crush on Annabeth, but he can't tell him that Annabeth has feelings for Naruto. Plus, Annabeth threatened to cut his horns and hooves off if he told anyone. Sorry Percy, but that's personal, Grover said, with an apologetic smile. He then found Luke next. Percy fist clenched at the mention of Luke, but Grover pretended not to notice. And then me. He protected all of us, trained us, comforted when he needed to. He brought my confidence and my skills in battle. It had been hard for him when Naruto was presumed dead. Grover shook his head. Naruto is here now and he's not leaving the camp anytime soon. Naruto rescued most of the demigods as well, Grover continued. Also met the hunters a year at Camp Half-Blood and rescue some women that are with the hunters, right? Like the 2 red-headed twins, Lily and Rose. I tell you that story for another time. He was a brother, a protector, a friend, and a guardian to the camp and the hunters. Not to mention crush for some of the campers and Nymph. He remembered the times Naruto ran from a bunch of fangirls. And he remembered how angry Annabeth and Thalia were. He held back the shiver from his spine. Percy furrowed his eyebrows in thought. It sounded how Luke acted. How he was portrayed before he left. Grover shot him a warning look at that. Do not compare Luke to Naruto, Percy, Grover warned him lowly. Luke made a mistake and let his anger and grief control him. Naruto will never do that. He is more mature than any of and always follows the motto. Those who abandon the mission are trash, but those abandon their friends and comrades are worse than trash. Grover then got up and moved to the other freight, but not before saying this. Naruto isn't a bad person, Percy. He is not going to betray like Luke did. Give him a chance. He then left, leaving Percy to ponder about Grover's words. An hour, Percy slowly woke up from the nap he had. When he looked at the other side of the freight he is in, he saw a man standing there. When his eyes cleared up, he saw that it was Apollo. Apollo? Percy asked in surprise. What are you doing here? Apollo smiled at the boy. Wanted to talk with you, Percy. Also, call me Fred. Don't want Dad to know I'm here. Percy nodded and then Apollo looked serious. Look Percy, I need to tell you something, Apollo said in a serious tone that didn't fit for him. Naruto, he's a spy for Luke. If Percy wasn't fully awake, he was now. His head shot up and his eyes widened. What? Percy said in shock. Apollo nodded with a grim look. Grover said that Naruto isn't like Luke, but a god is telling him that Naruto is a traitor. Yeah, I spied on Luke and found out his plan. Once you reach Artemis, he'll kill you, Grover, and the hunters. He'll take the others as prisoners and use them as playthings. Percy had a clueless look on his face, making Apollo sighed. He whispered what that mean and Percy turned white as a sheet, then, turned red in anger. He will not let any of his friends be killed or become prisoners. What do you need me to do, Apollo? Percy asked with a dark tone in his voice. Apollo inwardly grinned. His plan was working perfectly. The line blessing is being used greatly and the bit of mind control helped as well. You need to kill him while he's asleep, Apollo said, still in his serious tone. No one in this train is strong enough to kill him and I can't do it since I'm not allowed to interfere with the mortal world. The others won't help you so your only chance is to kill him while he is asleep. Percy looked down, thinking for a little bit. There was a whisper in his mind saying that Apollo is lying, but it's only faint and he could barely hear it. If he does this, he might lose his friendship with the others, but he doesn't want to let them die. So there is only one thing to do. I'll do it, Percy said with a nod. Apollo smiled, but inwardly did the happy dance. Naruto will be dead soon and away from Artemis. The others can handle themselves against the Titan, he is sure of it. Good Percy, you better do it now. Do it for my sister and your friends. Apollo said, then he left. When he left, Percy pulled out his pen. He slowly walked to the freight where Naruto was at. He looked to see Naruto sleeping. It looked like the girls finished scolding him for using tobacco. Good, this is the perfect time. Olympus, Hephaestus chambers. Hephaestus saw the whole thing. What Apollo said to Percy, what they're planning, and currently is watching Percy stalking to Naruto. He is going to get Athena, Hestia, and Poseidon and will kill that god whore. But first, he needed to make sure Percy don't succeed, seeing that Naruto is in deep sleep due to the scolding he got. Now, Zeus said that they can't interfere in their children's lives, but he didn't say anything about other demigods' lives. So he contacted all the other demigods, hunters, and the satyr. Sunwestline, wake up now. Percy Jackson is going to kill Naruto. Wake up! Bianca, Thalia, Zoe, Phoebe, Grover, and Annabeth immediately woke up when they heard Hephaestus' voice. All of them turned to where Naruto's freight is to see Percy uncapping Riptide and is about to stab Naruto. At least until Phoebe and Zoe notched up 2 arrows and shoot Percy. It hit Percy in arm, not much for the arrows to sink in the skin, but enough for him to get startled and move away. Stop away from him, boy. Zoe snarled in pure rage. Phoebe, her face mask in fury, notched another arrow and aimed at Percy. Annabeth, Bianca, and Thalia came from behind and looked at the scene in shock while Grover was in the other side and in shock as well. They all moved to get to them, but Percy used the water in the canister to slam and lock the doors. He also used some of it to coat and strengthen the windows. What the hell are you doing, Percy? Thalia yelled out, why are you attacking Naruto? Annabeth is just as angry as the other girls, but then noticed a flash of gold in his eyes. It's the same flash a god uses to control someone. Saving us all, Percy spoke quietly. He was about to turn back to Naruto, when he suddenly got kicked in the abdomen and pushed to the other side of the freight. He was kicked by one Naruto Uzumaki. Trying to kill me, are you? Naruto said with a raised eyebrow. He pulled his elemental sword, but didn't activate it. What did I do to deserve it? Percy got up from the seats and growled at him. Shut up, traitor, Percy yelled, getting his sword, and die. He then charged at Naruto with his sword in hand. Naruto quickly put chakra into the blade, making it a fire sword, and blocked the attack. The two quickly went into a vicious sword fight, with Naruto in defense and Percy in offense. Traitor? Naruto asked, blocking a swipe at the knee. Then pushed the blade at the side, but Percy managed to hang to it with one hand. What makes you think I'm a traitor now? I didn't do anything. You lie. Percy yelled, putting more pressure at his attack, making Naruto sweat a little. Percy isn't called best swordsman for nothing, and Naruto couldn't use his full power due to the space and the fact that Percy is being tricked. Apollo told me everything and what you're gonna do once we reach Artemis. Naruto raised his eyebrows when he heard that. He blocked a side slash from Percy and then locked onto him. The two of them tried to gain footing against each other, so that's why Apollo is trying to get him killed by using Percy. He also is thinking that it must have been him that opened the portal, but he doubts Zeus will believe him. The man is paranoid of him and disliked him a lot since he sent that lightning bolt squeaky toy. Even though he is a mature young adult, don't mean he doesn't like pranks. The others are shocked as well, even Zoe and Phoebe. The two hunters know about Apollo's dislike for Naruto, but they didn't think that he would go far as to tricking someone else like he tricked Artemis, even though the bastard Orion really was a rapist. Percy, Naruto said, trying to get a footing. Apollo is lying. I'm not a traitor. I'm not with the Titans or Luke. I'm on your side. Liar! Percy yelled out, gaining a footing and pushing Naruto back. Naruto had to get out of the clash. You're just lying like Luke did. I'm not going to be tricked a second time. Naruto saw Percy taking the water out of the canister. Naruto powered up the fire from his left arm and the two powers clashed together, water versus fire. Percy had to use two hands to get even with Naruto while Naruto just used one. He's been training with his powers for years, even before he became a genin, so he didn't need to use his full powers. Percy, however, only used his powers for 2 years. All of the others were staring in shock at Naruto and Percy powers. The two are very powerful for their age, and though Naruto wasn't even breaking a sweat, Percy is strong as well and probably will get as strong as Naruto when he grows up. Annabeth, Grover, Thalia, and the hunters are less shocked since they saw Naruto powers while Bianca was completely shocked. They all can feel the power radiating from them, even if the doors are closed. Percy got one knee and gritted his teeth. Naruto is even more powerful than he thought. He can't last with the powers he's at, and soon, Naruto will overwhelm him. He will kill you and accuse you the traitor, a voice whispered in his head. The voice made him more angry and felt the desire to kill Naruto. He will kill Grover and capture the others for Kronos and Luke. More eyes started glowing and slowly starting to gain footing back. Naruto eyebrows rose. Where was Percy getting that energy? And why is slightly glowing? He will use the girls as his personal toys. As a slave, Percy growled and gained more footing, forcing Naruto to step back and use more of his powers with both hands. And then one thing that made Percy go nuts. He and Luke will kill every mortal, including your mother. His eyes turned blue and the son of Poseidon yelled in complete rage. His powers burst 5 times as much, and Naruto, not expecting the power boost, faced the full brunt of it and was sent flying to the door. Percy kept it up and Naruto had to bite his lip to keep from screaming in pain. The pressure of the water was too strong. Everyone is trying to tell Percy to stop, but Percy was in so much rage that he didn't hear them. Thalia used her spear to try to crack open the window, but it wouldn't budge. Eventually, Percy stopped the onslaught, but moved towards him. Naruto tried to get up, to gain back his footing, but didn't have the chance when Percy started sending punch after punch, strengthened by his anger. Grover was trying to tell Percy to stop with his link to him, but to no avail. Annabeth and Bianca were openly crying and the hunters were gritting their teeth in frustration, a few tears coming out as well. Thalia kept trying to bust the door, more desperate to get to Naruto. Then, she gave up using her spear and stepped back, preparing to use her lightning abilities. By now, Naruto is bruised all over. There is cut on his cheek and very nasty bruise near his right eye. He's got some blood in his mouth and a broken jaw. Percy pulled out Riptide and uncapped it, unfolding it. Time to end it, Percy said quietly. He swung his sword up and was about to kill Naruto, until something. A burst of lightning broke through the window and hit Percy straight in the chest, making him fly and fall down unconscious, also making him lose his concentration on the door. Everyone entered in fast speed. Grover and the hunters restrained Percy while Annabeth, Thalia, and Bianca checked on Naruto. Naruto raised his hands up to stop the talking. "It's okay guys, I'm fine," Naruto said, then coughed a little, spilling a little blood from his mouth. "Though I might need to have some medical attention." Thalia and Annabeth helped him sit up while Bianca took out some nectar. Once he sat down, Bianca gave him some of it. Ramen, Naruto thought in his head. The Uzumaki love for ramen still lives on into Naruto. You're sure you're okay, Naruto? Annabeth asked in concern. Percy hit you pretty hard in that battle. Naruto just laughed a little. I'm fine, really, Naruto said, after seeing Thalia disbelieving. The wounds will heal quickly and I've suffered worst. Don't forget that I was once poisoned by a dragon. Thalia, Annabeth, and Grover shivered. They remembered that moment quite well. It was targeting Thalia and Naruto managed to block the attack by blocking the bite with his arms. I didn't work out well and the three have to nurse Naruto while his chakra healed him. Bless the Uzumaki bloodlines. So Naruto, Zoe said, gaining the attention of everyone. What do you want to do with the boy? She glared at the unconscious son of Poseidon. Everyone else turned their attention to him as well. Annabeth looked confused. Why did Percy believe Apollo so easily? Percy dumb, but not that dumb, and the truth god can't tell a lie at all. He would need Hermes' blessing. Her eyes widened in realization, so did Naruto. Naruto got up from his seat and went to Percy. Zoe and Phoebe got their arrows trained on the boy in case he wakes up. Thalia, Annabeth, and Grover, the daughter of Athena and the satyr, reluctantly pulled out their weapons as well. Naruto used 2 fingers and opened one eye. When he did, he got a closer look at it and lit his finger like a candle to see the eye fully. Then he saw it. That golden coloring in the eye, signing that Apollo has been controlling Percy. Naruto pulled out a camera from out of nowhere, seal, done, and took the picture of it. His dad and Poseidon would want to see this. He turned to the others and gave them a serious look. Apollo was controlling Percy, still is. He's using his feelings to control him and get him to try and kill me. Zoe, Phoebe, Annabeth, and Thalia let out a lot of killing intent. When they see Apollo again, they're not sure if they can restrain themselves from killing him. For using Percy like that and for trying to kill Naruto. Bianca and Grover also frowned, mad at Apollo as well. So what do we do? Bianca asked Naruto. Naruto stood and sat back down on the seat he was in. He made a quick prayer to Hermes and the camera disappeared from his hands. Right now, we'll rest a bit and wait till Percy wakes up, Naruto decided. Then, after we get out of the train, we continue forward. Apollo, I hope you're saying your prayers because you're about to have 2 angry. I hope you all like the video. And if you all want the next part of this video, please like the video and comment 3 hearts. Please subscribe to my channel so whenever I upload a video you will notify.